Alright, welcome to another video for year 9 under the topic negative and fractional indices. So basically you have to use the two rules here when you have negative index and also when you have fractional index. Alright, now let's start here. Let's have a look at the basic general law. So basically here, when you have any number or any expression, algebra expression with negative power, you basically can make it into positive by making sure that the base a is being reciprocal. So let's start with answering the example here. Example, write this as fraction. So let's go through one by one. So let's start here. When you see part A, 6 power negative 2, it becomes 1 over 6 squared. And you can, as you know, 6 squared means 6 times 6. So the answer is 1 over 36. So that's the first part. And for the second part, you can see here you have negative 1 as the power of 16. So same idea. 16 being reciprocal, and 16 power 1 is basically just 16. Alright, so that's the answer. Alright, for part C, you can see here n is having the power of negative 3. So no matter what's the expression, just make n into 1n, and don't forget that the 3, you will bring this together with the expression n cube, right? Then next one, here you have negative power, and inside the base is 1 out of 4. So when you try to reciprocal 1 quarter, it becomes 4 out of 1, and then the negative sign is gone on the power, so all you're left with 4 out of 1 squared, which is basically 4 squared, and 4 times 4, 16. So that's the first example. Alright, now let's move on to the next one. This is the rule that we have discussed just now in the group, and here you have to remember this one, right? Whenever you have a base with a fractional indices, the m, which is the numerator, is the power, and n becomes the root. And usually the ones that will, when you try to evaluate any number with a fractional indices, it's easier to do this one, right? You find the root first, and in the end you find the power. Okay, so let's do the second example. Now write the following using index notation. You can see here, and you have this one. This is not index notation, it's just an expression with roots. So as you know just now, using the rule any number with a root, it becomes the fraction of 1 over the root. So n here becomes n 1 out of 5. Right, so that's it. And for the next one, you can see here, don't forget that whatever the power, it becomes the numerator, and part B here, the root becomes the denominator of the fraction as the power. So x here, the power is 3, and then out of 7. So that's it. Right, so that's the second example. When you're trying to write the expression into index notation, no matter what's the power, you can always turn it. Alright, now for the third example, evaluate the following. Now evaluate means you have to find the final value. So here when you see 16 out of 1, 16 to the power of 1 quarter, here it's easier to just, let's see if we can split this. Now 1 quarter, you can say it's actually half times half. So using the previous power a m and then power n, these two will be multiplied together, right? So AMN. So using the same idea here, 16 power half is actually having another power. So these two is actually multiplied together, but we're doing the reverse. So you know just previously that let me erase this one. 16 power half is actually square root of 16, and then don't forget the half outside. So when you do this square root inside this one, it becomes 4, right? So here you are left with 4 power half, which is actually 4 under square root. So your final answer will be 2. Right? So that's the first one. Right, let's have a look at the second one. 125 power 2 out of 3. Now here the same idea applies, but it's easier to do the root first. So here I will do the cube root of 125. Okay, and you can check in your calculator that this one, it will become 5. 5 times 5, 25. 25 times 5 is 125. So it's confirmed that the answer inside is 5. Now, don't forget that you have another square. So 5 square is actually 25. So this is your value for the final answer. Right? Now, let's move on to part C. Okay, look at here. No worries about this half. It's because you can, from the previous example, whenever you have negative power, all you do is to make sure that 25 is, you find the reciprocal. So 25 reciprocal is 1 out of 25. And then don't forget the power negative half. You no longer have the power negative, so it becomes 1 out of 25 power half. And you know that already, power half is actually square root. So you are actually finding the square root of 1 out of 25, which is 1 out of 5. Okay, now, okay, that's it for today. I hope it will help you very much to find, to understand all the questions and the applications. Thank you and see you again.